So as a CISO, I think the best advice that I can give to developers is actually to really be proactive when it comes to security. And it doesn't matter whether you're, still developing in an old-fashioned waterfall-like development cycle, or if you're working through Agile. I think it's really about making sure that you build in controls and you understand your architecture as early as possible, rather than waiting for pen testing or security cycles to be introduced later. So real software security, I think, comes from defeating the most common sources of vulnerabilities. And if developers just know that and understand that and build it in proactively at the very, very beginning, then there's a lot less drama waiting for them at the end. So I'm actually really surprised about Cambridge Analytica and why it's creating such a scandal for Facebook, because honestly, the scandal is that Facebook was actually built this way. It was meant to be harvested and trawled for its users' data. And the only surprise for me is that we're so heavy on Cambridge Analytica, when in fact multiple companies and Facebook themselves have actually been able to do this from the beginning. If you actually saw the testimony of Mark Zuckerberg, you'll see that for the really difficult questions, when asking what Facebook's own behavior is in regards to user data, he actually says, "I don't know," or "I'll get back to you on that." I think this is irresponsible at the very minimum, and it's actually gross negligence on the part of user privacy and security. I think the most surprising thing I've learned in the 18 years that I've worked in information security is this lesson that you should never, think immediately to conspiracy or immediately imagine these fantastic scenarios when the potential for incompetence is at play. And what I mean by that is, usually a security person thinks of all these complex, really difficult constructions of how security is done, but also how it's going to be broken. When in fact the most simple scenarios, Occam's razor, are the things that actually really get to us. So I think the most surprising thing is I always imagine that everybody knows exactly what they're doing, and we always know exactly how we're building and testing and developing, and actually the surprise is we don't. The surprise is that we're still every day surprised by information security problems and privacy breaches. If I could describe Codemotion in a word, it would actually have to be that it's bubbling. Everywhere I go, I just see this excitement and this openness. It's a sort of democratization of what's happening today all over the world with developers. It's just energy. So it's not one word, it's many, many words.